Hello everyone, this is Team 5. We are going to be talking about job mapping and product prototyping in this presentation. My name is Ekta Singh and my teammates are David Smith and Win Tang.
Hey everyone, this is Vin. I will start off by giving everyone an overview of what kind of company we are. We are a startup company whose goal is to create innovative, viable mousetrap solutions to compete with industry leader Victor Mousetrap, and to adhere to the circular economy model that minimizes waste and reduces environmental impact. At the start of our job mapping process, we conducted several interviews and solicited feedback from our customers regarding the job steps. As a team, we reviewed the feedback and dissected the job the customer is trying to get done. When we populated our findings into the job mapping, we then populated our findings into the job mapping table as shown. As a team, we also performed observation interviews to see if there were any missing job steps that were not originally identified at the start of our job mapping process. From those steps, we provided 2 outcome statements for each. Some of the steps that we observed to help refine our job mapping process includes: how can the customer anticipate reducing clutter to maximize the potential to catch a mouse? How to reduce the scope in which the mouse can enter a house or an area? How to reduce the need to set up unnecessary traps? Once the mouse is caught, how can they dispose of the mouse without contaminating or recontaminating the affected area? How to safely remove the mouse from the area for the customer and the mouse? And once the trap is no longer needed, how can the customer recycle the mousetrap? Given the feedback we solicited from our customer and the identified missing job steps in our observation, we concluded that our greatest innovation strategy lies with minimize suffering of the mouse. So we want to know if there was a humane way to catch and release the mouse. Secondly, we wanted to know if there was a way to minimize packaging material. Is there a way for us to both minimize costs while reducing waste? And lastly, how can we maximize recyclability of the mousetrap? So what happens after the mouse is out of the picture? Now I'm going to turn it over to David to discuss the business and community outcomes.
Hi everybody, I'm David. Now, when it comes to our innovative process and hearing the voice of the customer, we next want to understand who our stakeholders are and what the benefits of our innovation have on them. So one of our key stakeholders is our business. And for our business, we want to minimize packaging materials to reduce cost and waste. What this will do is it will reduce the cost of shipping, and it will reduce the packaging material waste that comes after the fact. One of the ways that we will reduce that packaging material waste is by sourcing recyclable material from the outset for packaging. That will help maximize our recyclability for our packaging, and for the mousetrap, we will have the customer then print up a shipping label from our website and then ship the mousetrap back to us for upcycling. For the community, our other stakeholder, we want to minimize the likelihood of the mouse returning, so we instruct them to go at least 1 mile from their residence in order to release the mouse, or to drop it off at a local pet store, which can then repurpose the mouse. Another benefit for the community is that it minimizes the environmental impact by recycling the traps. If the customer decides to keep the trap and reuse it, it does have a longer lifespan. However, if they get rid of it, it won't just go to a landfill and neglect recycle or composting. It will break down into base materials, or they can have it sent back to us for upcycling. Now, what we did is we took our voice of the customer outcome statements, the vital outcome statements, in order to plug them into the Pew matrix so that we could identify what the best options are for moving forward with our mousetrap designs. Some of these include minimize the suffering of the mouse, so we would prefer a humane mousetrap. Maximizing the ability to reuse the trap, which means that it'll have a longer lifespan, and minimizing the packaging material by making the shipping costs lower, and also to make it more environmentally friendly. Now, using the Pew matrix, we inputted our selection criteria and then used as a base model the electric trap from Victor Mousetrap, which is not a humane trap, and also the snap trap, the traditional snap trap, that is also not a humane mousetrap. We wanted to make sure that the humane trap was a viable option. So when we used our selection criteria for our business model and from our voice of the customer results, we did find that the humane trap was a viable option. Now we'll get into the product concepts. The first one, the Paddy Wagon, is a simple composition spring door trap wherein the mouse can go for the bait and then spring the trap to catch it inside humanely. The main benefit of this trap is that it's a modular design so that the trap does not get pre-assembled at the factory, cutting down on manufacturing costs. And when the customer sends it back to the factory for upcycling, we can actually reuse the parts that are still viable and send them back through the production process in order to be reused. Those that are not viable, we will have recycled.
And this is our second product concept. The idea behind the mouse pad is to create an environment that is so good, why would a mouse want to leave? So what we added here, as shown in this picture, is there's mood lighting, there's skylights, there's a buffet, a treadmill, and a bed. You also notice that there's a note that says there's no doors. The idea behind this is if the mouse that enters this mousetrap likes it so much, they may want to bring in additional family members into the trap. So we really wanted to take the humane approach to the next level. And in addition to the trap, we wanted to reduce the amount of time that the mouse would have to spend in there before it gets put back into its natural habitat. So we wanted to put include a Bluetooth technology or Wi-Fi that will notify the customer of when a mouse has entered the trap, so that way they can come and remove the mouse as soon as possible.
So unlike Win, this is a simple catch and release mouse trap. Nothing fancy. It is made of refurbished plastic. The bait is peanut butter, and the mouse sees it, comes inside, and the weight of the mouse triggers the spring door to shut. And while the door is shut, there are air holes through which the mouse is able to breathe comfortably, and that's about it.
Now, once we had our initial product designs, we wanted to run them back through the Pew matrix using live trap as the base model in order to identify which of these options would be most beneficial for our production criteria. Having done so, we identified, the next slide, the best elements of each concept, which were going to be incorporated back into the designs in order to maximize the benefits of all the design models. Some of these included the contact with the customer at the time of disposal needing to be minimized. The voice of the customer said that they did not want an option for the mouse to come back and bite them. Additionally, maximizing sustainable sourcing for initial manufacturing on ECTA's mousetrap was a very innovative concept. Minimizing the cost associated with production by reusing materials. So that would be part of the upcycling and the sourcing the recyclable materials for production. And then lastly, minimizing the time the rodent spends in the trap by notifying the user on Vin's model, wherein the Bluetooth device would notify the customer of the trap being sprung. Once we had the best concepts, we went ahead and integrated them into the designs, which you see here. And once we had those upgraded designs processed, then we went ahead and integrated them back into the next Q matrix. Once we did so, still using the live trap as the base model, we decided that the paddy wagon would move forward. And in the final concept here, you can see the sliding hinge pin, which allows the door to fall off so that you don't have to open the trap back up in order for the mouse to get out. It'll just fall open. Additionally, it has a door alarm rather than a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth device, which we thought would increase the cost of production. The door alarm is a sensor that will chirp or chime intermittently after the trap has been sprung in order to notify the user that there is a mouse inside. You can see it's made of recycled plastic, and this initially had the modular design that allows us to upcycle the trap itself in order to reuse the parts or to send it back to be recycled at the initial sourcing facility. You can also see the different aspects of the trap and the components that it's made up from.
And finally, these are our key learnings. In order to minimize waste, we need to start with sourcing the right construction materials. As you've heard, we are using recycled materials in the construction of our traps. Our plastics and metals that go into the trap are all made of recycled materials. Benefiting the environment can benefit our bottom line by reusing product components. So what this means is the customers can send their traps back, and once they have served its purpose, we could clean them, reuse them, and then send it to some other clients. This helps in improving our margins by spending less on production costs and reusing the traps, and maybe producing the component that doesn't work anymore. There is such a thing as a win-win-win scenario. These things are always not a zero-sum game, and just as we learned about the blue ocean strategy, you can create new situations or markets where nobody loses. And in this case, the customers get the satisfaction of reducing their carbon footprint. We are using recycled products in our manufacturing, and that reduces our production costs, and the mouse get to leave without any injuries. And finally, the customer can be part of the solution. So the most important learning that we had is that the VOC is the most important thing. The customer is in fact and should be a part of the solution. So with that, we will conclude this presentation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.